Ever use the bike lanes downtown Vancouver?
Yes.
Okay, well, those are controversial, but they're, people are getting used to them as they go on. Interesting problem a little bit further in Lithuania, where this has happened. It's in the capital. The problem isn't so much the lanes, but rather the people who park their cars in them. And the mayor of Vilnius, Lithuania, has had a solution. His solution is to teach those drivers a lesson. How do you do that? Well, this is how he does it. Afterwards, he's smiling. A friendly greeting for the shocked driver and a polite request to park legally next time. Look at his face.
Also an answer to double parking.
Yeah, okay, this could have been staged as a clever way just to get the message out too. No, kind of appropriate though.
I like it. Good attitude.
Stay away from the bike lanes. We'll be back here tomorrow at 5 o'clock. Good night. Well, we have some rather exciting news to share with you about one of our own. Now, we talked a little bit about it being summertime. Tony is off this week, and Claire is off this week, and Shane is off this week. But our own Shane Foxman has received a Gemini Award nomination for Best Sportscaster. That's Best Sportscaster in the entire country. He was nominated
his second, right?
That's his second. So this time, our money's on Shane for sure. This is a really small field, and we know that he was one of the hosts of Seeking Stanley, of course, who's been on our news desk. He's just an all-round terrific guy, Shane. We're just so proud of you.
And he's on vacation, so he's so not watching us right now. That's right. But we love you anyway.
Yeah, it's a great accolade no matter what. We will be back at 5 o'clock tomorrow night. We hope you will be too. Have a great evening. Bye-bye. Bye. We've got something fun for you now. A Canadian artist is getting rave reviews for his unconventional show. Take a look at this. Fan Yang, his amazing audiences in China with his New York Broadway Gazillion Bubble show. This interactive performance, it was designed to engage the audience, but it has turned into a huge hit. Believe it or not, Yang has been performing with bubbles for 20 years. This show alone is already in its 4th year. Don't bubbles just make you happy?
So magical, really. You still, it's at a party, it's known for weddings now. Instead of throwing rice, everybody blows bubbles. It's magic.
It's kind of fun.
Yeah, that's fun.
Neat. Well, we hope you get outside to enjoy the evening, but we're going to have more sunshine on the way for tomorrow once we get Anne back from the beach. Have a great night, and we'll see you back here beginning at 5 o'clock tomorrow. Bye-bye.
Right, Vasek Pospisil tomorrow. The 21-year-old tennis sensation will take on the #1 tennis player in the world in the Rogers Cup Men's Championship. We're heading to talk to Vasek's former coach tonight to find out what kind of mental pressure he must be under as he prepares to go up against his tennis idol. That plus any breaking news right here at 10:55. Tony?
All right, Kirk, thank you. Well, the summer-like temperatures may have us all dressing a bit lighter, but we have not gone to this extreme. A Japanese designer is making quite a name for herself, creating dresses from balloons. She twists and weaves the latex into some amazing outfits. Her designs are fetching as much as, believe it or not, $4,000. Wow. But there is one problem with the designs. They only last about 24 hours, and then they deflate.
Oh, I disagree. There's more than just one problem.
I was going to say.
It's like,
I hear popping.
I don't want to get on that.
Yeah, popping.
I wonder if Vasek Pospisil will sleep well tonight.
I don't think so. Yeah. But how magic. And we did do a little bit of digging in it. It turns out that a number of years ago, just a few years ago, he was actually invited to be Roger Federer's warm-up partner. Oh. And it said how lovely and welcoming he had been for a world #1. He was just great to be around. So it won't be so shocking for him to face, the guy who says, I'm not going to lie to you, he's been my favorite player since I was 15, and he's 21, so that's a big deal.
So if he beats him tomorrow, will he therefore apologize to Federer, saying, I'm sorry?
Probably. No, I don't think so. I think he might walk off the courts 10 feet off the ground. It would be the biggest upset in tennis.
A great Cinderella story. Really good. That's good for local tennis as well. Thank you very much for being with us. We'll be back tomorrow at 5 o'clock. We'll see you then. Good night.
Good night. Thanks for taking my time.
A local athlete's dream came true today at the Rogers Cup in Montreal. Canada's second-ranked tennis player, Vasek Pospisil, took on someone he's always looked up to, tennis great Roger Federer, something his family here in Vancouver can hardly believe. Leah Henry spoke with them this morning.
It's not every day you face your childhood idol on center court. But with the crowd behind him, BC native Vasek Pospisil took on tennis giant Roger Federer. Despite some early nerves, the 21-year-old held his own.
got to get the crowd on your side.
Much to the delight of his family, who watched from Vancouver.
It was great. It's something that he's really, wanted for a while, so he really deserves it. So just really proud.
Pospisil celebrated the biggest win of his career yesterday after beating the world's 22nd highest ranked player. The win pushed him about 30 spots to the 155th ranking, in an unexpected matchup with Federer, the world's number 3. For his father, who coached him most of his life and even gave up his job to travel with him, it was surreal.
I hope there is more coming, because all the hard work we put in, like is now paying off.
Pospisil grew up on the tennis court. The youngest of 3 boys, he showed an early knack for the sport.
That's all he wanted to do. He wanted to do what his brothers were doing.
His former coach was riding a bit of nerves himself this morning.
Good work, good return.
But even against Federer, Vadim Kork says Pospisil looked focused and relaxed.
Even if he doesn't win today, it will really help him to raise his confidence for the future.
Pospisil matched Federer game for game until late in the first set when he started to falter, eventually losing 7-5, 6-3.
He looked very promising. He was a lot of talent, and now it's up to him to see how far he can take it.
Hearing those words from the player you've admired since childhood was a big boost.
It's just good motivation for me to keep working at my game, keep working hard with my coach, and try to get to the next level.
Next up is the qualifications for the U.S. Open and trying to break into the top 100 players in the world. Leah Hendry, CBC News.
A baby gorilla rescued from poachers in Rwanda is now settling into his new home. The mountain gorilla is between 8 and 12 months old and is now being cared for at the country's Volcanoes National Park.
Oh, what are they doing?
Feeding.
He was taken from poachers who said they purchased him in the neighboring Republic of Congo for $15,000. According to the World Wildlife Fund, there are only about 680 mountain gorillas left in Central Africa.
Oh, I thought they were doing a teeth check.
Such wisdom in those eyes, no?
Didn't
Yes.
I say it had a big factor?
It's really, yeah.
And the other thing we're still pondering is how that guy with the golf balls actually hit, and if he really did.
Yeah.
And
Slow motion. I don't buy it.
Yeah. Right in if you see the edit marks.
Ball's too white. Digital. No edit required. It's that one off the wall.
think about that. We'll be back tomorrow at 5 o'clock. We'll see you then. Thanks for being with us.
Juice.
And good night.
Good night.
And we'll talk now about the Langley Phenom.
Indeed. What a day, what a week for Brett Laurie. He's been on a tear since being called up to the Toronto Blue Jays. Last week, he joined the Jays in Baltimore. Tuesday, the team headed for home for the first time with this 21-year-old who has quickly captivated the nation. It was a big moment stepping onto that big stage, and this was Brett Laurie's pregame welcome. Look at this. He fielded all questions, and then last night he let his bat do the talking.
Well, you can tell just by watching Laurie that he is a very aggressive hitter. He drives one to left. Willingham's going back. He's near the wall, and it is gone. Grand slam for Old Canada, Brett Laurie.
Somebody's just a little bit jazzed. So the Lauries from Langley are Major League celebrities. Questions of the road to here and if their boy is ready to be Kid Canada.
I don't know if anybody's ever ready. I mean, the thing is, it's been kind of thrust upon him. Will he do a good job? I think he will. I think, as long as people, exercise some patience. I don't think that it's anything that, oh, this is what I am now. It can't be that. I think it's something that you have to grow into. And I think he'll do a great job. The talent that he showed early on was unique. I mean, Brett was always the best player wherever we were. He just was that guy. He's been physically strong and has had truly incredible timing with his hands since he's been a little boy. You look at any kid that's ever gone to the major leagues. I don't know the stat, but I'm going to say at least 85% of them had had a father and a mother that kind of pushed, right? And we pushed from an early age to a degree where, you know, Brett would a lot of times have to run home from the park. Or if we were training, we'd train at the park and he'd have to run home, as well as my daughter Danielle. I mean, that was kind of what it was. You know, I would lay out workouts for them, running workouts in particular at, you know, 10, 11, 12, 13 years old. And they bought into it. And did they like it all the time? Of course they didn't like it all the time. But, you know, I tried to express to them early on that, you know, from what I saw, and I consider myself a fairly good evaluator of talent, that if they really wanted to pursue their dreams, and they really wanted out of life what they indicated they wanted, it starts here, and it starts with the discipline. It's working out on Christmas Day. I mean, people go, really? Well, I go, you know what? How many people that are trying to do what you're doing are working out today? So, you know what? Both of you go for a run, get home, and then we'll go carry on with the day. Those type of things, right? So that was it. Might have been a little hard, but like I say, I like where we are today.
So we have Brett Lawrie, we have Adam Hadwin at the Canadian Open, and of course Vasek Pospisil at the tennis over the last few days. It's been a big stretch for BC athletes, certainly.
An all Canadian 3 or 4 days. It's been great. And cousin Harley today on the plaza outside the CBC.
Were fantastic, weren't they?
Wasn't he good? Yeah.
They were absolutely fantastic. Yeah, if you get the chance to come down to the musical Nooner, I got to get this right. Here on the corner of Georgia and Hamilton at the CBC studios. Tomorrow will be fabulous. 22 degrees currently, 22 in Whistler. Look at the interior, still quite warm. We're looking quite wet, quite unsettled. Temperature of about 17. That's a little on the rough side. Tuesday, we actually start to dry up, highs to 18 degrees. Tomorrow's musical Nooner, by the way, Sun Wizard.
See, that's what happens when you have Fabio on your show, so don't do
My
that anymore.
brain's gone to mush.
I know, we'll be back. What an impressive collection of talent on our plaza during these Nooner concerts.
Absolutely.
And I chanced by today to hear Cousin Harley. I wasn't intending to, but there he is. And somebody, I think it was Jody, said he's sort of rockabilly, and you say he's a cross between Colin James and
Bill Haley.
Bill Haley.
You know, and everybody was out there rocking. It was fabulous. Tomorrow's is Sun Wizard. They're energetic. They are as good as they were.
And we'll see you tomorrow night at 5. Thanks for being with us, and good night.
Good night.